Hi everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at a shotgun microphone from Comica, model number CVM-VM20. It is a super cardioid condenser microphone with a standard 3.5mm jack, also with its own built-in rechargeable battery, and it'll really give you high quality audio for your videos or vlogging, or like I do, a lot of live streaming. And full disclosure, they did send this microphone out to me for free in exchange for a video review. And also I am an Amazon affiliate, so there'll be links below, and I'll earn a small fee on any qualifying purchases. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, and as I said, there's a nice foam fitting case to carry all of the different parts. Here we have our shock mount with hot shoe and 1/4 thread here, so that you can mount this onto a tripod or directly onto your camera. And a little foam wind muff. And then here's the microphone itself. And we have our on-off button. We have a low-cut noise filter switch. And then this is the battery indicator. And you just press and hold the power button to turn it on. And as you can see, we have an OLED battery display, which is really very visible and nice and clear. Over here we have a USB-C jack to charge the 300 milliamp internal battery. And then this is a standard 3.5mm jack. And then here we have a input adjustment. So we have levels from 0 to 10, and it's simple to rotate. And this comes in handy when you have a particularly hot camera. Like a lot of the Panasonics are very hot, so you might want to turn this down a little bit so you don't start clipping. And then over here we have a nice furry wind muff, and then we have various cables. This is a standard 3.5mm TRS cable, so that you can hook this up to your camera. And this is a TRRS cable, so you can hook this up to your cell phone. And then here we have a standard USB-C charging cable, and of course the manual, which I never use myself. Now the construction of the microphone itself is all metal. Looks like very, very good construction. And we'll go ahead and slip on the foam wind muff and the noise cut filters here for 75 kilohertz and 150 kilohertz. And if you're a sound engineer, you'll really appreciate that. For me, I really don't mess with it. I just leave it off. And then the shock mount is really nice. It's all plastic, but I like that there's a 1/4 screw down here in the bottom, because this allows me to mount it onto my desk for live streaming. All right, here it is hooked up to my EM1 Mark III, and I just used a generic 3.5mm cable to hook it up. And from the side here, what I like about it is actually it doesn't stick too far out from the back of the camera. So I can still put my eye right up to the EVF if I happen to be the cameraman recording the talent. And also from the top, you can see that I still have easy access to all of my controls. So the microphone doesn't interfere with the operation. So it's a nice clean setup on camera. Now, as I mentioned before, on the bottom of the hot shoe is a 1/4 thread, so I can mount this microphone onto any standard 1/4 screw, like on my Z plate here, which allows me to use this for live streaming on my desk. So I just set it up, and I point the microphone directly to my voice. So what we'll do is we'll switch over, and I'll show you how this sounds for my live streaming videos. All right, now I have the microphone set up on my desk about 12 inches away from my mouth, and you should hear a pretty substantial difference in the audio quality of the shotgun microphone versus the lavalier microphone that I was using. I think my voice sounds more full, richer, maybe a little deeper, but I think it's a very pleasant sound for audio or for human voice. And not being tethered to a wire with the lavalier mic is really nice, particularly when I'm live streaming, because I like to move around sometimes. And like with all microphones, the most important thing is proximity, or for sound, the most important thing for sound is proximity of your voice to the microphone itself. So as I move away, you'll probably hear a little bit of difference in the audio quality, but it's still pretty decent. But there might be a little echo because this is not really a very well acoustically perfect room. And then as I bring the microphone all the way up closer to my mouth, you probably hear a very different sound coming from the microphone. But shotgun microphones are designed to be placed, roughly 12 to 24 inches away from the subject so that it's out of camera but still give you very good audio quality. Now let me just do a quick demonstration of the 75 and the 150 kilohertz cutoff points. Now at 75 kilohertz you probably won't hear any difference because usually anything below 100 kilohertz, most people can't really hear that anyway. So I'll just turn on the 75. And now I'm operating with the 75 kilohertz low cut filter. But this may eliminate noise in different kinds of environments depending where you are. So it will help the audio quality even though most of us can't perceive that. Now I'm going to switch to the 150 kilohertz low cutoff filter. And I think you will hear a difference because above 100 kilohertz, I think most human ears can hear that just fine. Any differences there. So now I'm operating with the 150 kilohertz noise filter on, and as you can tell, my voice is probably not quite as deep because we're cutting the lower frequencies out, and this may even sound more natural to some people, but for others they may prefer the deeper voice or richer, fuller sound that you get without a noise filter. So for me personally, I always just turn them off. I never use them, but it may be very applicable for whatever you're doing with, whatever environment you might be in. Alright, so I'm going to do an outdoor test here of the Comica boom mic, and I'm going to compare it against the camera's internal mics, and also I'm going to compare it against another Comica product, a wireless Boom XD is what they call it. It's basically a wireless lav mic system that I've reviewed before. And right now you are hearing the Comica boom mic, and it's roughly arm's length away from me. So this is a typical setup I think most vloggers, videographers would use if they're doing YouTube videos and talking head type videos outdoors. And so I'll do a couple of things. I'm going to walk around the mic to test its audio rejection from different sides of the camera, and then I'm going to do a distance test where I'm just going to walk back maybe 5 or 10 meters and then come back in, and you can test hear the volume level and how much that difference is. And then I'll do the same thing with the camera's internal mic so you can see a comparison. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll start with just a walk around test to test the microphone's noise rejection from the sides. So what I'll do is I'll just walk around the camera, and right now I am 90 degrees from the camera at roughly the same distance on arm's length. And now I'm talking from directly behind the camera, and again I'm still at arm's length talking towards the camera, as you can probably see from my B-roll cam. And I'll just keep walking around back over to another 90-degree position, roughly about arm's length, talking directly towards the microphone. And I'll just keep talking as I work myself back around to the front of the camera. So that's a pretty good test, I think, of the noise rejection that the Comica boom mic will offer. Now let's do the same thing with the camera's internal microphones. So I'll just simply disconnect. Alright, now we're testing the camera's internal microphones, and you probably can tell already it's picking up a lot more ambient noise. But the main difference is that the camera's internal mics are omnidirectional. So as I walk around the camera, the volume of my voice, the level should not be changing much at all, if any. And as you can see, now I'm standing 90 degrees away from the microphone. And again, there shouldn't be any change as I work myself back to the front of the camera, again roughly at the same distance. And again, now there's, like I said, there's a major highway behind me, so it's probably picking up a lot of that noise. Alright, now let's test another product from Comica, the Comica Boom XD, which is just basically a wireless lav microphone system that I've reviewed before. Now you're hearing the wireless Boom XD, which is a wireless lavalier microphone system that I've reviewed before. And obviously I don't need to walk around the camera because the microphone is right here. But as I walk away from the camera, now I'm roughly, I don't know, about 2 or 3 meters away. I'm definitely about 5 or 6 meters away now. And, that's more than enough, really. If I were recording somebody, I would tell them, just get closer, right? Or I would zoom in. But this is, what I want you to compare is the audio quality. Alright, now I'm on the Comica boom mic, and as you can see, I think the sound quality is better and a little bit richer, although you do have some limitations, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk backwards to about the same distance as I did before, and as you can see, my voice level is going to be dropping as I get further away from the boom microphone. And this is roughly, again, about, I don't know, 5 or 6 meters away. And I'll just walk back up towards the camera, back to about arm's length, so you can hear the audio signal or audio levels of my voice as I get closer to the camera, and again, the audio quality. I really like this microphone, and I wish I'd gotten one a lot sooner, particularly for my live streams, because if you've seen my live streams, you know sometimes I get up and if I'm tethered to my lav mic, it gets pulled off as I'm going out, maybe let my dog out or something, and then when I come back, sometimes I forget to put the lav mic back on, and I don't have to worry about that anymore, right? No more technical difficulties with the sound anyway. I can just get up, go do whatever, come back, sit down, and rejoin the conversation. I don't have to think about putting the mic back on. And little things, they make a big difference sometimes. And then also for vlogging and doing video outdoors, the sound rejection from the sides and from the rear is excellent on this microphone. So, you know, you'll get much better audio quality because there won't be quite as much ambient noise. And as you know, in my backyard, it's noisy back there. And I think it really had much better sound than even the wireless lav mic I was using. And one last point I want to make about this microphone is about the battery life. I've used it for 3-4 hour streams straight, and in fact between one of those streams I left the microphone on overnight, and when I got up the next morning to start my stream, it was about 50%, but I was able to finish a 4-hour stream no problem. And I've since recharged it before I used it today for the testing, but I think in the real world, you'll be able to use this microphone all day long. And of course, it probably takes a couple hours to recharge, no big deal, but yeah, really good battery life. So all that being said, I can highly recommend this microphone with no reservations, and I'll have my affiliate links down below if you'd like to support my channel for more videos and live streaming and everything else I do. But either way, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.